My name is Josie Frimpong, representing Central University.
My name is Frank Ousu Kumi. I'm coming from Zenith University College.
My expectations for this year's law challenge is that at the end of the challenge, it will serve as a learning opportunity for me and to also interact with other law students and also create connections in the legal community.
Our expectation for this program is to win and then also link up with other members from different faculties, so that together we can all spread the fragrance of the law.
The Law Challenge. You're welcome today to the contest. And today, we are certainly ready for another interesting edition of the Law Challenge. And the Law Challenge seeks in many ways to help you to appreciate the law for yourself so that you may know your rights when the time comes, and you may also appropriate the law for your own business. Let's welcome the contestants for today to the stage. Coming from the Zenith College Faculty of Law, Zenith University College Faculty of Law, and also the Central University Faculty of Law. A round of applause for our contestants. Welcome. Now let's begin to meet our contestants. And our contestants for the Central University College are...
My name is Paul Mensah Amano.
Paul Mensah Amano and...
Tracy Frimpong.
Tracy Frimpong. Also for the Zenith University College Faculty of Law, we have...
Frank Ousu Kumi.
Frank Ousu Kumi and...
Michael Osei Kranting.
Michael Osei Kranting. A round of applause for our contestants.
Enjoy high performance at the same price with the Super XP RON 95. Goil, good energy.
Are you looking for a place that offers a wide array of services to meet your everyday budget? Then look no further. Sun Lodge Hotel. Yes, Sun Lodge Hotel. Our serene environment ensures that your business and leisure needs are met. With over 50 exquisite hotel rooms, business center, 2 different restaurants, 6 banqueting and conferencing facilities. Oh, don't worry about your corporate and individual parties. Receptions, meetings, outside catering and cocktail needs will be catered for. Our restaurant offers a continental and local cuisine to suit your taste in a la carte and buffet form. We also boast off a gymnasium and a well-treated swimming pool which provides a relief from a hot weather, as well as a professional staff to see your needs. We are located in Tesano Enclave, Accra. For enquiries, visit www.soundlodgehotel.com or reservations at soundlodgehotel.com. you can contact 030-222-9758. Sun Lodge Hotel, an experience worth repeating.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know by now that in the first round you are going to be asked 5 questions and you have 30 seconds to answer a question. And if you answer the question correctly, you get 10 marks. If you answer it incorrectly, then, like they say, wara o wara. Now, it could go on for a bonus question because this round questions are transferable, but for 15 seconds and for a bonus mark of 5 marks. If you are ready, let's begin with the general round. I will begin with the Central University, represented by Paul Mensah Amano and Tracy Frimpong. What is the difference between actionable per se and actionable on the case? You have been familiar in the law of torts, particularly on matters like this. What do we mean by actionable per se and actionable on the case? What's the difference?
With actionable per se, you do not have to prove damages. There is strict liability. But with actionable on the case, you have to prove that there has been damage.
That is correct. Now to Zenith College, Faculty of Law. Would you help by stating the 4 main aims of the law of torts? What are the 4 main aims of the common law of torts?
So 1, compensation. 2, restitution. 3, to correct a wrong, and then to prevent, to stop a wrong, or to avoid damages.
Compensation, right? You mentioned some sort of restitution, maybe appeasement. That's right. You mentioned to stop some wrong, perhaps deterrence, you mean by that, and to award damages. Perhaps I could say that should represent doing justice. So on that score, I will say that you are deserving of 8 marks. The 4 main aims of the common law of torts are compensation, justice, deterrence, and appeasement. Now let's get to the Central University, and please put up your hand so I'll mention your name and you answer the question, or you attempt to answer it. Battery is an intentional and direct application of physical force to another person without that person's consent. State the main elements of battery. Yes, Tracy Frimpong.
There should be physical contact.
You are stating the main elements of battery.
The person should be in apprehension of a harm, and it should be a voluntary act. It should be an act and not an omission, a positive act.
Right. I will say that in talking about direct contacts or physical contact, you're right about that it ought to be voluntary. The acts complained of must be voluntary. That's certainly also one of the elements of battery. Unfortunately, you also mentioned that there ought to be a positive act and not an omission. There ought to be a physical contact. I, on this occasion, will also like to award you 8 marks and not the full marks because of the manner in which you made the presentation. I will move on to the Zenith College Faculty of Law, University College Faculty of Law. State 2 circumstances or situations by which a private person may arrest without a warrant. Who is answering?
Frank.
Okay, Frank Owusu Kume.
Yes, sir. So the first instance is when the person is committing a crime without the presence of a law enforcement officer, and then when the person is has escaped lawful custody. In such instance, a private person can arrest the suspected criminal.
Thank you. The two are absolutely correct. There are many instances in which a private person may arrest without a warrant any person who is in his presence is committing some offense. It could be any offense involving the use of force or violence, any offense whereby bodily harm is caused to any person, any offense in the nature of stealing or fraud, any offense involving injury or to or public property, any offense involving injury to property owned by or in the care of or custody of that private person. So I ask for 2 circumstances or situations by which a private person may arrest without a warrant. Let's go to Central University. And Central University, your question is, how will you distinguish between malum in se and malum prohibitum? Malum in se and malum prohibitum. Yes, Tracy.
With malum in se, the act is criminal in itself, by itself. But with malum prohibitum is criminal because there is a statute that prohibits the act.
And that is correct. I now turn my attention to the Zenith University College. State 2 factors that are considered by the court before sentencing an accused person. 2 factors. Yes, Frank Owusu Kume.
Okay, so in taking into consideration the sentences, the court can sometimes take into consideration the nature of the offense, then whether the person is a first timer, the person is known to the law, and then the nature of the offense, whether the person is known to the law, and then whether
the purpose of the offense to deter others from doing the same as a deterrent.
The purpose of the offense, whether as what? State that again.
So deterrence. The courts will take into consideration to the person that the sentence used to deter other people from following suit, the like-minded people from following similar acts.
I believe that the degree of revulsion felt by the law-abiding citizens of the society may be the purpose for which you are stating the very last instance, but considering whether the person is committing the offense for the first time or not, whether he's known to the law, will definitely be attract the attention of a judge as well. The factors that a judge will consider in sentencing will include the intrinsic seriousness of the offense, the premeditation with which the criminal plan was executed, the prevalence of the crime within the locality in particular and the country in general, the degree of revulsion felt by the law-abiding citizens of the society, the sudden increase in incidence of the particular crime, and we say aggravating, extenuating circumstances, mitigating circumstances, such as extreme youth, first offender, and good character. To the extent that your two elements are found in these elements, I say that your answer is correct for the full marks. Now to the Central University College, Faculty of Law. What will be the distinction between conduct crime and results crime?
I would like to take it.
Yes, Paul?
By conduct crime, we are referring to a crime that is inherent in the nature of the act. By results crime, we are trying to see what comes out of the prohibited act.
That is correct. That is correct. I will now turn my attention to the Zenith University College Faculty of Law. What is the difference between recklessness and negligence in criminal law? Frank Owusukumi.
Yes, sir. So for negligence to occur, there should be the person didn't exercise care, due care, and then for recklessness means that without care to.
For recklessness, it happens where the person did not take into consideration the effect on the other person. And negligence is complete disregard to duty of care.
On the second part, you're right, but on the first part, you cannot get the marks for it. So I'll give you 5 out of 10. Recklessness implies a state of mind, deliberateness, and unjustifiable manner in which the course of action is pursued. So you consciously disregard the risks involved, and negligence, as you may have attempted, is voluntary, done without the skill and care that is reasonably necessary under the circumstances. Now let's move to the Central University College Faculty of Law. Professor A.V. Darcy in 1885 broke down the concept of the rule of law into 3. State them.
Supremacy of the law.
So Paul
Yeah,
Mensah is answering. Yes?
Supremacy of the law.
3 concepts, the manner in which he broke it down. You still have some time?
Is it up for bonus?
You have been bailed out.
We are for bonus.
You have been bailed out, and I feel tempted that whilst you mention supremacy of the law, which may be recognized to a certain extent, I unfortunately am unable to accord you the marks. So we will pass this question on to the Zenith University College. What will be the 3 concepts as broken down by A.V. Darcy to constitute the rule of law?
It involves separation of powers, rule of natural justice, and respect for rights, human rights.
A.V. Darcy broke them down to mean that no man could be lawfully interfered or punished by the authorities except for breaches of law established in the ordinary manner before the courts of the land. 2, no man is above the law, and everyone, whatever his condition or rank, is subject to the ordinary laws of the land. And finally, the result of the ordinary law of the land is the Constitution. Does anybody here remember this? Thank you very much. In the circumstances, I'm afraid I'm unable to give you a bonus mark for it. In the generally speaking, supremacy of the law and the rest of them, we understand. The Zenith University College, for your main question, state 3 features of the rule of law. What are the 3 features of the rule of law? State 3, there are many, but state 3.
Okay.
Yes, Frank Owusukumi.
So there is separation of powers. There's a constitution. There's natural justice. And there's a
separation, constitution, and natural justice.
No, there's the legislature.
There's a legislature
for promulgating laws, and there's a judiciary for interpreting the laws.
I'm afraid that's inaccurate. You've been bailed out. That question is transferred to the Central University for a bonus mark of 5. 3 features of the rule of law.
Okay, I'll take it. Supremacy of the Constitution.
For a bonus mark, I have a difficulty in awarding you any points because supremacy of the law, not exactly the Constitution, would be a more appropriate way to state it. The features of the rule of law are certainty and predictability of the law, equality before the law, supremacy of the law, and the principle of liberty. And I've heard somebody in the audience actually say principle of liberty. Okay, so a round of applause for our contestants. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first round, the Central University has 38 points, while the Zenith College has 33 points. A round of applause for our contestants. That takes us to the second round. And as you know, the second round, we take you to what is known as the buzzer round. In this second round, which is known as the buzzer round, a mix of questions from the various areas of the law coming in 6 questions in the round. The team pressing the buzzer first will be given the chance to answer the question in 30 seconds, and a correct answer earns you 10 points. If you get it wrong, 5 marks will be deducted from the marks you have already earned. If a team presses the buzzer before the question is over, they will be asked to answer it without the question being completed. It's like fastest fingers and fastest brain. Where a team presses the buzzer but fails to answer the question correctly, the other team will have the opportunity to press their buzzer to answer the question. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, here is the buzzer round. I was first director of legal education in Ghana. Who am I? Yes, the Zenith University College.
Professor Ansansari.
That certainly is incorrect.
D. Darocha.
Not correct either.
Kosa.
Not correct either. You are entitled to only one answer correct. So time has run out. And next question. I was the first native of Ghana to be called to the bar and also admitted as a barrister in England in 1887.
John Mensah Saba.
John Mensah Saba is the correct answer from the Central University College's Paul Mensah Amana. I am something said by the way or a chance remark. Yes, Zenith University College. obiter dictum. Thank you very much, Frank Owusu-Kumi. I have only a very persuasive effect, especially when I am made by the highest court in the hierarchy. But a later court is not bound to follow me. You have just nailed it. Obiter dictum. Now to the question. I postulated that laws proper or properly so called are commands. Laws which are not commands are laws improper or improperly so called. Yes, Zenith University College.
Kelson.
That is wrong. Now, that was John Austin. I am a theory of law. I was used in the famous case of Salah versus Attorney General, 1970. By the yes, Zenith College.
Supremacy of the Constitution.
No, that is incorrect. Once time has not run out of you, you have the opportunity to press your buzzer. If you
Pure
have the
theory
answer.
of law.
Sorry?
Pure theory of law.
And that is correct.
That's what I said.
So I was actually under the impression that I had finished reading out and I was not finished. I was being prompted because I almost lost focus. So I am a theory of law. I was used in the famous case of Salah vs. Attorney General, 1970, by the Attorney General to justify the dismissal of the plaintiff. Who am I? I am the pure theory of law. And what a wonderful performance by Tracy Frimpong of the Central University College Faculty of Law. I am a source of law in Ghana. I am only applicable to Winneba alone. And my application is, yes, Frank Owusu-Kumi.
Customary law.
That is right, customary law. I'm applicable to Winneba alone, and my application is limited to that particular community in Ghana. I am customary law. I only apply where a court has reached a decision in the absence of knowledge of a decision binding on it or a statute. And that is either case, that in either case, it can be shown that had the court this material, it must have reached a contrary decision. Who am I? Yes, Tracy?
Stare decisis.
That is the doctrine of per incurium. That brings us to the end of this round as well. Please, a round of applause to our contestants. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the second round of this contest between Central and Zenith Universities, Central University College Faculty of Law got 20 points. And the Zenith University College Faculty of Law managed 5 points. A round of applause for our contestants.
Enjoy high performance at the same price with the Super XP Ron 95. Goil, good energy.
Are you looking for a place that offers a wide array of services to meet your everyday budget? Then look no further. Sun Lodge Hotel. Yes, Sun Lodge Hotel. Our serene environment ensures that your business and leisure needs are met. With over 50 exquisite hotel rooms, business center, 2 different restaurants, 6 banqueting and conferencing facilities. Oh, don't worry about your corporate and individual parties. Receptions, meetings, outside catering and cocktail needs will be catered for. Our restaurant offers a continental and local cuisine to suit your taste in a la carte and buffet form. We also boast off a gymnasium and a well-treated swimming pool which provides a relief from a hot weather, as well as a professional staff to see your needs. We are located in Tesano Enclave, Accra. For enquiries, visit www.soundlodgehotel.com or reservations at soundlodgehotel.com. You can contact 030-222-9758. Sun Lodge Hotel, an experience worth repeating.
The law challenge. The law challenge. Shall we now welcome our contestants to the profound quotes round? And this is the 3rd round. In this round, each team will be giving 3 quotations, and you will have to identify the person who is making the quotation, or you may also be asked to identify both the person making the quotation and in which case the quotation is made. A correct answer gives you 15 marks. There is no negative marking for incorrect responses. Each team will also be given an opportunity to identify one personality within the legal fraternity. The questions here are non-transferable. So in total, you have 4 questions to deal with. The first question will go to the Central University. And here is your quote, Central University. A written constitution such as ours is not an ordinary act of parliament. It embodies the will of the people. It also mirrors their history. Account, therefore, needs to be taken of it as a landmark in a people's search for progress. It contains within it their aspirations, their hopes for a better and fuller life. The Constitution has its letter of the law. Equally, the Constitution has its spirit. Who is speaking and in which case?
Justice Acha.
That is not correct. Tracy, you want to try again? Or Paul, you still have some time.
Justice Tapalu.
That's incorrect.
Bamford Ado.
You have been bailed out. The question is not transferable. The answer is Justice Soa in the famous case of Tofor versus the Attorney General, 1980. Now to Zenith University College Faculty of Law. All I need you to do is to identify the case in which this statement is made and the judge speaking. Here is your quotation. Yet, this court is being invited to prevent the government from spending monies which Parliament has constitutionally provided for government use. I think if the order is granted, it would amount to judicial officiousness, poking our noses into the affairs of Parliament and intermeddling with the prerogative of the executive by directing the government not to spend monies approved by Parliament. Such a move clearly amounts to a violation of the doctrine of separation of powers, which is the core of our Constitution 1992.
Respectfully, the case is MPP versus Attorney General. And then the judge speaking is Sophia Kufu. Acha.
That is correct for the full marks. New Patriotic Party versus Attorney General 1993, and the judge speaking is Justice Archer. This is your famous 31st December case. Now to Central University. Who is speaking and in which case? This contention seems to me highly artificial, and I cannot believe that with the known pragmatism that informs judicial attitudes towards questions of legislative interpretation, the Attorney General have thought an argument as this was likely to carry seasoned judicial minds. We should fail in our duty to effectuate the will of the Constituent Assembly if we interpret the Constitution not in accordance with the letter and spirit, but in accordance with some doctrinaire juristic theory. Who is speaking and in which case? There is solely but one.
Asari versus Attorney General.
You have time.
J.H. Mensah versus AG.
And you have been bailed out, and it's not transferable. Apollo J.A., as he then was in the famous Salah versus Attorney General. So Zenith University College, Frank and Michael, here is your quotation. I need you to tell me who is making this assertion and in which case. The scope and extent of the doctrine of separation of powers, in my respectful view, and as I understand it under the Constitution 1992, is to ensure that each arm of state, in the performance of its duties within the framework of the Constitution 1992, is to act independently and should not be obstructed in the exercise of its legitimate duties or be unduly interfered with by the Constitution. In other words, all arms of the state are answerable or responsible to the Constitution 1992.
Asari versus AG. Justice Dateba.
That's not correct. Frank wants to come again, or Michael wants to try.
In the case of Shalabi versus Attorney General.
And that was His Lordship Justice Edward Redu speaking in the Ghana Bar Association versus Attorney General case. If you want, you can call that the Justice Aban case. So to your very final quotation to identify in this case, I am requiring you, Central University, Faculty of Law, to identify what case you can find the quotation I'm about to read out. That's all. The National Liberation Council, being sovereign, could do everything except turn a man into a woman or vice versa. Which case is this?
NPP versus AG.
Not correct. You've been bailed out. Yes, you have felt it because you mentioned it previously. Shalabi versus the Attorney General. Now, to the Zenith University College Faculty of Law, your very final quotation. And I want you to tell me who made the statements and in which case. Citizenship is man's basic right, for it is nothing less than the right to have rights.
Asari versus AG. Justice Dateba.
That's not correct.
Then,
Michael Osei wants to try. You still have some time. You've not been bailed out.
Bilson versus Rollins.
I'm sorry. You have been bailed out. It's Hayfron Benjamin in Shalabi versus Attorney General. A round of applause for our contestants. Now to the Central University College, Faculty of Law. Please lift your head and keep your gaze on the screen and tell me, who is this man? Whose image is that?
Ni Kote.
Tracy, I'm sorry. You've been bailed out. And that is His Lordship, Justice Gabriel Puamang of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Now to the Zenith University College Faculty of Law. Please keep your gaze on the screens. Tell me, who is
Gertrude Tokono.
this?
Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokono.
Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokono of the Supreme Court of Ghana. A round of applause for our contestants as we draw the curtains on the third round. And at the end of the third round, Zenith University College made 40 points, whilst the Central University College Faculty of Law made nothing. A round of applause for our contestants. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the very final round of this contest between the Central University College Faculty of Law and the Zenith University College Faculty of Law. This is the rapid fire round. In this round, each team nominates a member to represent it. In this round, you have 10 questions in 120 seconds. You are going to answer 10 questions in 120 seconds. You get 5 marks for each correct answer. Where a team has more time, they will have the opportunity to answer questions they skipped or passed on. If you are ready, let's get to the rapid fire round. Who represents the Zenith University? That is Michael Frank Owusu-Kumi. Frank Owusu-Kumi will represent the Zenith University Faculty of Law. Now, here your time starts. The fundamental principle of criminal procedure in Ghana is that it is, quote, accusatorial and, quote, or, quote, adversarial, unquote, in nature, as opposed to, quote, inquisitorial. True or false?
True.
And that is correct. In a criminal trial, if the accused, when called upon to plead, refuses to plead, the court may, if it thinks fit, order a plea of not guilty to be entered on his behalf. True or false?
True.
That is true. A defendant who has been duly served with a writ of summons and statement of claim is required to enter an appearance within 14 days of service by filing a notice of appearance. True or false?
False.
That is false because it is 8 days. In civil procedure, if it is known to a judgment creditor that a third party has money due to the judgment debtor, the judgment creditor can apply by an ex parte motion supported by an affidavit to the court for an order nasi. Is that true or false?
It's true.
That is true. One of the qualifications of a person as a member of parliament is that he is a resident in the constituency for which he stands as a candidate for election to parliament, or has resided there for a total period of not less than 3 years out of the 10 years immediately preceding the election for which he stands or he hails from that constituency. True or false?
False.
That is false. To qualify as a contractual offer, the statement or conduct must have been made with the intention that it would become binding as soon as it was accepted. True or false?
True.
That is true. A unilateral offer made by way of an advertisement would qualify as a contractual offer. True or false?
True.
That is true. Where the auction sale is without reserve price, the vendor or his agent can bid only once openly at the beginning of the auction before any other bid is made. True or false?
It's false.
That is false. In principle, a performance cannot properly be said to constitute acceptance of an offer if it was made in ignorance of the offer. True or false?
It's true.
That is true. Where two persons make identical offers to each other simultaneously, cross offers, neither party knowing of the other's offer at the same time of making his own, the two offers can constitute a contract. True or false?
False.
That is false. Generally, ladies and gentlemen, let's now turn our attention to the Central University College Faculty of Law. Paul Mensah or Tracy Frimpong, who represents your faculty? Paul Mensah Amano. Paul Mensah Amano, your 120 seconds begin now. Generally, a mere inquiry or request for further information which does not introduce new terms constitute a rejection of the original offer. True or false? A mere inquiry, that is false. Where a contract is made by means of instantaneous forms of communication, the contract becomes complete only when the acceptance is actually communicated to or received by the offeror. True or false?
True.
That is true. Generally, in general offers or offers for unilateral contracts, the law implies from the nature of the offer that the requirements of actual communication of acceptance is waived. True or false?
True.
That is true. The postal rule applies exclusively to acceptance by post, telex, telephone, and fax mail machine. True or false?
True.
That is false. A minor trader can be sued for the non-delivery of goods he has contracted to sell or for the payment of the price of goods delivered to him for purposes of trade. True or false?
True.
That's false. Lease contracts. Contracts affecting land or immovable property. Contracts for the acquisition of shares in a company and marriage settlements are examples of necessaries as stated in Section 2 of the Sales of Goods Act, 1962, Act 137. True or false?
False.
That is false. Where a minor fraudulently misrepresents his age and thereby induces another person to enter into a contract which is ordinarily unenforceable against the minor, the contract remains unenforceable against the minor despite his fraud, and the minor will not be liable for the tort of deceit, because the cause of action in tort arises directly out of the contract, which is not binding on the minor. True or false?
True.
That is true. Under Ghanaian law, a promise to keep an offer open for acceptance for a specified period of time is not binding on the promisor unless it is supported by consideration. True or false?
True.
That is false. Where a party who is seeking to rely on contractual clause in a written contract is guilty of misrepresenting its effect to the other party, he may be precluded from relying on such clause, even if the other party has signed a contractual document. True or false?
False.
It's true. A warranty is a term of contract which underlies the whole contract, such that where it is not complied with, the performance becomes totally different from that which the contract contemplated. True or false?
It's false.
That is false. And that, in fact, is your final question. A round of applause for Central University College's Paul Mensah Amano.
Enjoy high performance at the same price with the Super XP Ron 95. Go Oil, good energy.
Are you looking for a place that offers a wide array of services to meet your everyday budget? Then look no further. Sun Lodge Hotel. Yes, Sun Lodge Hotel. Our serene environment ensures that your business and leisure needs are met. With over 50 exquisite hotel rooms, business center, 2 different restaurants, 6 banqueting and conferencing facilities. Oh, don't worry about your corporate and individual parties. Receptions, meetings, outside catering and cocktail needs will be catered for. Our restaurant offers a continental and local cuisine to suit your taste in a la carte and buffet form. We also boast of a gymnasium and a well-treated swimming pool which provides a relief from a hot weather, as well as a professional staff to see your needs. We are located in Tesano Enclave, Accra. For enquiries, visit www.soundlodgehotel.com or reservations at soundlodgehotel.com. You can contact 030-222-9758. Sun Lodge Hotel, an experience worth repeating.
And at the end of the very final round, the rapid fire round, Central University managed 25 points, while the Zenith University got 50 points. Consequently, in the final analysis, from rounds 1 through to the 4th round, the Zenith University Faculty of Law has 128 points. A round of applause for them. The Central University College Faculty of Law also got 83 points. And that, ladies and gentlemen, makes the Zenith University College Faculty of Law the winners of this round. A round of applause for them once again. And we want to thank you all for joining this exciting contest. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself. We look forward to more exciting contests in next week. Have a very good afternoon. The Law Challenge.
Legally speaking.
It was quite competitive. The opponent was very good, but we did well. So eventually, we became the winners at the end of the fourth round.
We are still proud of our performance and that we hope to do better next time.
We are very excited. We are very happy that we were able to progress to the next stage. And we want to go to the next stage and also qualify to the finals.
Just